Quite possibly one of the worst things about doing a selfie video is when people are driving by and they see you talking into a camera. I'm really trying to figure out how to be my own videographer, and it's just not working. I think I'm gonna have to go home and sit in my living room with my iPhone. I think I have a microphone. Oh wow, okay, so just when I think I am tech savvy like a millennial, I fail myself. I bought that camera and I thought it was gonna be so awesome to walk around and talk. Yeah, no. So here I am back at my house and I'm a sweaty mess, but nevertheless, I'm gonna give you some information. Okay, so market update. I think I said it outside. I don't know if my SD card caught it or what, but our single family homes hit a record in March of $1,150,000. Crazy, right? That's like a median, regular single family home, single level, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, no ocean view. If you were to draw a line across all the homes that sold in March, our prices hit a record-breaking price of $1,150,000. In looking at the inventory the other day, even in this environment with rising interest rates, homes are closing for $100,000 over asking. And that is simply because we only have about 1 month of remaining inventory on the market. What does that mean? If you didn't bring anything else on the market, if everybody decided we're not going to sell anything all at once, it would take 1 month for all the houses that are currently listed to sell. Condos hit a record price as well at $500,500. Both are taking only about 9 days to go under contract from the time that they list, but interest rates are going up like crazy. We've been told that there were going to be about 6 or 7 rate increases in 2022. It's only April. It remains to be seen how that's going to affect things. Right now, what I'm seeing is just a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out. People that are just running to buy homes right now because they're afraid of getting priced out altogether. You're getting punched in the gut with prices, and then you're getting punched in the gut with interest rates. And then, gosh, if you have to landscape or do anything in your home, do you have any money left over to do the things that you really want to do? So what I'm seeing is people are starting to, I don't want to say settle, but it's the right word. People are settling back into condos, and they're taking their wish list and they're going, you know what, we can take that off. We don't necessarily need the 2-car garage. We don't necessarily need the 2 parking because people are getting priced out. Interest rates last year were 3%. 3% last year, a $3,000 a month payment would have afforded you $621,000 in mortgage. Okay, so now interest rates are at 5%. That same $3,000 payment is now affording you about $535,000. And that's a huge difference. Now, homes in that price range on Oahu, anything between $500,000 up to $800,000 is pretty much condo, townhome. This is where it starts, where you're gonna have to start as a buyer if you've waited, or if you're just entering the market now. This is where mindset has to shift. This is when I got into the market back in 2008, when I bought my first home. It seemed like all the odds were stacked against us. Prices were crazy. Interest rates weren't that great. I bought at 6.75%, but I don't know, because we had never experienced this historic interest rate low, next to nothing to borrow money, we really didn't have a reference point. So 6.75% was kind of like, oh, okay, we'll take it, cool. You could write off your mortgage interest anyway. So we're like, hey, that's a write-off. And you'll figure out ways to justify why it's okay. Here's the problem that happened last year. Prices were going crazy in 2020 and 2021. People would go to open houses and there would be lines because of COVID. We could only have 5 people inside the house at a time. So then everybody would line up and stand in the sun. And that in and of itself created a frenzy and made people feel the FOMO, and made people feel like, oh my gosh, like if everybody wants this house, I need to have it too. I need to try. So the problem is that some people waited after seeing all of that, or even after just getting exhausted and priced out. The cost of waiting is now you have to buy less house because the interest rates have gone up. And I remember saying this to buyers last year. I said, I really don't recommend that you wait because prices are not going to come down. Oh, well, the interest rates are going to have to go up. Yeah, the interest rates are eventually going to go back up because we've bottomed out. But as interest rates go up, your qualification goes down, and now you're buying less house in an environment where prices went up. So on Oahu, in Hawaii, homes appreciate at about 4 to 5% a year over the long run. So the name of the game is just get in. You just have to get in. The younger you start, the more you can acquire in your life, the better. One of my favorite mortgage officers yesterday said, you can't look at it as a 30-year thing. Look at it as maybe a 3 to 5 year thing or a 5 to 7 year thing. You know, I've got buyers right now that are telling me, Mila, we just don't want to settle. We don't want to settle. We want what we want. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if your goal is really home ownership, it doesn't mean like it's over. It just means we have to shift from the euphoria that everybody has experienced in the last 3 years, right? Sellers could price homes wherever they wanted, and more than likely they were going to get overbid. And in many cases, they still are right now. But if you're a seller, don't wait. If you've got a home that you know that you're going to sell, I wouldn't wait thinking that prices are going to go up more, because what's going up faster at this time is interest rate. Did I do everything? Did I cover it all? Let's see, market update, buyers and sellers. Okay, funny story maybe. I was on the plane a couple of weeks ago coming from Maui. I was doing a little quick getaway with some girlfriends. I was enjoying a bikini blonde beer on the way home, reading Entrepreneur magazine, and just, vacation mode. And then a guy in the seat behind me says, "Oh, so you're an entrepreneur, huh?" And I was like, oh man, I just don't feel like talking to anybody. Terrible, right? And then I said, oh yeah. And he's like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a real estate agent. And then he's like, do you do YouTube videos? And I'm like, yes, I do. And he's like, my wife and I watched all your videos before we moved here from Colorado. And of course, that just sent me into a frenzy of all kinds of thoughts as the seatbelt sign went off and as people stood up because we were deplaning at this point. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if he ended up buying. I wonder if he ended up renting. I wonder what they were thinking when they watched my YouTube videos. People watch my YouTube videos? Oh my gosh. And I thought, I need to tell people why I do these. Okay, yes, I retired from singing. I'll always sing. I do the videos because it really satisfies this entertainer in me. Yes, I love to give information and to help people, but I'm not a saint. I want to be your real estate agent. And I say that with all confidence and transparency. I know that I'm good at my job. I love Hawaii. I have great relationships with people. I pride myself on providing great service and helping my buyers to win and helping my sellers to sell as quickly as possible for as much money as possible. Sellers are always selling because there's a reason, right? Oftentimes it's death, it's distress, it's divorce. So my job is to help them to get as much as they can, to do it as quickly as possible and as smoothly as possible, knowing that there are those underlying issues. It gives me great joy when I see sellers who have owned their first home for 10 years maybe, and they've experienced all of this great appreciation, and now they're moving on to buy something else because they were such great stewards of the first home that they bought. And that's the passion that I take with me in helping people. So yes, I love to help you, but I also would love for you to reach out to me. Comment, subscribe, share this, email me, get on my website. Let's have a conversation. It's 10 minutes, just reaching out to me doesn't mean I'm going to automatically spam you or force you to sell. And I know a lot of the times, you're scared. You don't know if this is the right time. As a buyer, you're scared. You don't want to show your financials to somebody. I'm not going to see your financials. I'm going to recommend that you go to a loan officer. That's their job. My job is to hear from the loan officer what you qualify for. Mila, take them shopping and help them to win. So if that's you, let me know. Mila Gibson Bandman, aloha.